It's really about empowering people like y'all, white allies, to do a better job at advancing the cause of racial justice. So I'm going to share some ideas with you and some tools and techniques, and I want your feedback. That's part of it. And also, I'm hoping that we can have a little sharing, a little crosstalk, so we can learn from each other. And so y'all can learn from each other, and I can learn from that process. Okay, so we got the few of us, it's the main thing we do. A big portion, it's one of the main things we do, and a little more than 50%, it's either one of my several interests or you care about, it's not a primary focus. And that's, I want to again make sure that y'all understand, that is okay.
Descriptive.
It's descriptive. I am not coming at you with the idea that this needs to be the main thing that you're doing. I think that the work of the racial justice equity movement needs to get more people who would come to a meeting, and even if they're answering number 4, that's a whole lot better than people who wouldn't come to a meeting. It is still my belief that even if most of the people or all of the people in your circle look at things like you, there is still important work for you to do in terms of understanding racism better, understanding strategies about it better, understanding strategies how to communicate about it better. That is still important to do. And I would like us to notice that the majority of us have people in our circle who are skeptics. Half of the white folks in this country think that racism against white people is just as big of a problem as racism against people of color. Now, one of the things that means is that if you have a more extended definition of white allies, half of the folks are white allies. Like half of the folk get it, right? So from a racial standpoint, you want to look at what triggers you and why is it? Is it because your mama talked like that? Is it because you feel implicated as a white person? Is it because it's just too overwhelming and depressing to think, look at the amount of work I got to do with this fool? It doesn't, you need to look at what comments trigger you and why they trigger you so you can stay in listening mode.
And it's so much more effective when you communicate with somebody and not make them completely wrong, even though I think that they actually are. I actually don't think that just because you're sharing, like you said, sharing your experience, I think that we need to be brave and share and stop blocking all those people because they're the ones that need to hear us.
So it's bigger than it's bigger than like we need to have some more racial equity and justice. It is actually a global dilemma that the West, historically the white countries, has about its future. And so I would just invite you to look at your passion, your work, your endeavors in being a white ally in a broader context. We need y'all, the world needs y'all to be more effective in reaching people who have a tendency to deny the racial history we have.